Okay, guys, it's really late, so I'm just gonna kind of go through these really quickly. Let you see the answers. Okay, I didn't go through every problem. Alright, for regular, 1 and 3 were for the regular classes. S inverse is in red for number 1. The inverse for the chart in 3 is in purple. These two, number 2 and number 4, were for the advanced. Okay, you've got the inverses of the ordered pairs for S in S inverse. Okay, and that's in red. The inverse of the table is in purple. Okay. Number 6 was for both regular and advanced. Okay. To find the inverse, we started by switching y and x. Solved for y, we ended up with 2x minus 10. Graphed that out. Number 7 was for both of you. Again, switched my x and y. Solved for y. I came up with a few points, and I was able to do my square root. Okay, it's just the positive side. Okay. Number 10 was for both of you. The graph in black, I went ahead and outlined in blue just so that we could see that that was our original function. The domain was -3 to infinity. The range was 0 to infinity. To get the inverse, I just flipped points along the graph. And so like -3, 0 became 0, -3. -2, 1 became 1, -2. 1, 2 became 2, 1. Okay, sketched the graph out. Showed you my line of reflection, my line of symmetry over y equals x. On my red graph, my domain was 0 to infinity, and my range was -3 to infinity. Okay. On this one, number 13 was for regular, 15 was for advanced. Number 13 comes out to be a linear equation. We know that linear equations have domains and ranges of all real numbers. Number 15. I solved for y to get my inverse. Square root of x squared minus 5 is my inverse for the square root of x squared plus 5. Okay. My domain ended up being the square root of -5 and greater. My range ended up being 0 and greater. Okay. Number 21, I believe, was for both of you. It might have been just for the advanced, but I'm not sure. But it shows the process anyway. We did f of g of x and g of f of x. Okay. We worked them out. they both came out to be x, so yes, they are both inverses. And then our last one, number 24, was for the advanced. A teenager makes $10 babysitting, and she can babysit for 15 hours a week. It said write the function of how many hours, or how much she'll earn by working X hours during the week. So that's f of x is equal to 10x. The domain of that is the number of hours, so that's 0 to 15 hours. The range is how much she can make, which is 0 to 10 times 15, which is 150. Okay, then we found the inverse of that. So that is, if we know how much she made, we can figure out how many hours she worked. So we found the inverse by switching the x and y and then solving for y. And y ended up being x, which was the amount she was paid, divided by 10. Number 10, the domain and range switch from part B. So the domain is 0 to 150 and the range is 0 to 15. Is the inverse a function? Yes, because 10x and x over 10, they're both linear, and the number of hours to the amount of pay is 1 to 1. So yes, it is linear. Alright, that's going to